The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. Oh yeah. The protagonist of this novel, Holden Caulfield, is a 16-year-old pessimist who seems to be the cause of his own depression. He's a bad student who failed 4 out of his 5 classes at the private school, Pensy Institution. He hates people who are insincere, which is why he says he left his past schools to come to Pensy. He gets expelled from his school, leaving him on his journey back home. On the way, he meets lots of people and faces the adversities of becoming an adult. Throughout the novel, The Catcher in the Rye, the author, J.D. Salinger, does a great job of using a variety of literary devices to introduce a theme to the reader. Through the use of irony, diction, and first-person point of view, J.D. Salinger conveys a recurring theme of depression in the novel, Catcher in the Rye. Irony is used in this novel to show how Holden is really depressed. This is seen as Holden complains about his old school, Elkton High, being full of different phonies. Holden himself claims that one of the biggest reasons I left Elkton Hills was because I was surrounded by phonies. That's all. They were coming in the goddamn window. It is ironic and somewhat comedic that Holden says this because he himself has proven to be a phony in the past. Yes, this is true. Holden Caulfield, protagonist of Catcher in the Rye, is a phony. For instance, take this scene when he is on the train and meets his friend's mother.
What's your name, dear?
I am Rudolph Schmidt, a janitor at Pensy High. Well, would you look at this? Very ironic how Holden Caulfield himself would tell a lie to this person. He is not a janitor at Pensy High. He is only 15. Let's see if he lies again.
Do you like Pensy?
Pensy? It's not that bad. It's not paradise, but it's as good as any other school. You know what I'm saying? Most of the faculty, though, are kind of conscientious most of the time. Well, would you check this out? What a great lie by Holden Caulfield himself. Isn't he always talking about how he hates phonies and hates liars? He is not a janitor at Pensy High. He knows very well that he doesn't even like Pensy High. Holden Caulfield, you are fake news. Get wrecked. This irony conveys a theme of depression because Holden is trying to be something that he is not, which means that he is insecure and probably sad about the real him. This must be his reason for not showing his true colors all the time, because he is just a big phony who can't handle the real him. Insecurity may be the reason of his depression, which may mean that he indeed causes his own self to be sad all the time. The author also shows his theme of depression through a first-person point of view. This can be seen as Holden thinks about Stradlater and Jane getting jiggy, saying, "It just drove me stark, staring mad when I thought about her and Stradlater parked somewhere in that fat-assed Ed Benke's car. Every time I thought about it, I felt like jumping out the window." We see firsthand through Holden's own thoughts that he hates his current life position and has a feeling that he wants to commit suicide. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, depression is one of the leading causes for people to commit suicide. We see Holden's sad thoughts throughout the book, which shows that he just may be in a deep state of depression. This can also be seen in other instances, like when Holden expresses his inner thoughts of feeling like jumping out of a window. I probably would have done it too if I'd been sure somebody would cover me up as soon as I landed. Holden takes the thought of ending his life into consideration when times are tough. You have to be very sad to think about actually killing yourself, which Holden seems to be, as it is a reoccurring notion that he values. This means that he is actually very depressed because he cannot express these thoughts out loud and ask anyone for their help. Well, instead, he just suffers in silence. Another impressive writing strategy that J.D. Salinger uses to develop his theme of depression throughout the book is his dictation of the protagonist, Holden Caulfield. Holden's vocabulary develops a theme of depression, which can be seen when Holden is leaving Pensy, saying goodbye to his favorite teacher, Mrs. Spencer. Before he leaves, the two shake hands and all that crap. It made me feel sad as hell though. By using words like crap and hell, one can infer that this parting of ways is a sad time for him. His vocabulary is focused around words of mostly negative connotation, which makes the reader assume that Holden is a very depressed person. Another instance of this is when Stradlater beats up Holden for arguing with him. After he throws Holden to the floor, he seemed very concerned, to which Holden thought was because he probably was scared he'd fractured my skull or something when I hit the floor. After this, he adds, "It's too bad I didn't." Holden is almost saddened by the fact that he did not suffer major bodily injury in this fistfight. This could possibly be so he could sue Stradlater, gaining a great fortune from this experience. On the other hand, though, if one were to use contextualization, they'd be able to tell what Holden really wanted for him, which was to get hurt so bad that he may have possibly died. The way his life is going at the moment, if something like this were to happen, then Holden would not be as upset. He uses such negative words to present his tone of almost not caring or wishing for the worst. These are great signs of depression, which Holden shows throughout the book. This author is so well known because of his ability to use several various literary devices to engage the reader in the text. This author is able to make the reader really understand who Holden Caulfield is, a smart, idle 16-year-old trying to make it on his own as an adult. Thank you for watching this film. I hope you learned a lot, and thank you to my wonderful sister for helping me film this. Thank you.